Hey, welcome to another episode of Living Awake. And we title it that because everything in the kingdom is practice. You have to be intentional with your life and with kingdom realities. If you want to see hope, if you want to see love, if you want to see peace, you have to practice those things. What have you been thinking about a lot lately? And I'm just asking that simple question because since we've been on lockdown or quarantine, a lot of us have a lot of thinking time, a lot of thoughts, a lot of things kind of running through our minds. And I want to talk a little bit about that today because the Bible says in Proverbs, so a man or woman thinks, he or she is. Whatever we think about, we become. Whatever we consume our minds with, we end up acting on or living a certain way. It's not who you are that holds you back. It's who you think you're not that keeps you from excelling, that keeps you from seeing God's realities practice, that keeps you from seeing the kingdom come. Romans 12:1-4, that entire section there, talks a lot about practice of worship, and it talks about we are transformed by this idea of renewing our minds. And that word transform actually is the word metamorphosis, which comes from the picture in the Greek. They liken it unto a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. I don't know if you've seen a butterfly recently, but they're starting to come out because of spring and the weather. And it's interesting when you see a butterfly and you see them flying, your eyes are drawn to their wings and to what they're doing. When they're caterpillars, you don't notice them as much because they're in the dirt, they're on the ground. They really start to become more in the eyes of those who see them when they start flying. And here's what's interesting. And I don't know if you know the process of how a caterpillar becomes a butterfly, but they hide themselves in a cocoon. Interesting fact, it's almost like God knew what he was doing when he wrote his scriptures. Do you know where the cocoon comes from, right? It's made of this substance that we call silk, and it comes from their mouth. Now this is crazy. Because their cocoon, their process of becoming a butterfly is made up of what comes out of their mouth. How do we renew our minds? How do we change our thoughts? With our mouth. Did you know you can't think a lie when you're speaking a truth? Your mind is filled with what you say and what you see. And you can change your thoughts and the feelings that you have by speaking. Silk comes from the mouth of a caterpillar, which transforms it into a butterfly. When I get through the quarantine, the process of being in a cocoon, I hope to fly and show the world that I am something amazing. That when I flap my wings, people take notice, and it's actually something beautiful, not something harmful or dangerous or frustrating or filled with anger. Your inner dialogue matters so much. It creates and shapes your life. What you think about, what you consume your brain with, it matters. And your thoughts are powerful. But you can change what your cocoon looks like by speaking life and truth and hope. And I want to challenge you in this next season. Again, it's not who you are that holds you back. It's who you think you're not. And so a man or woman thinks, he or she is. So what are you filling your mind with? What is your talk filled with? What is your mouth constantly repeating, constantly saying? Because it will be seen on social media. It will be seen in your life. It will be seen when you're driving, when you're behind the steering wheel of your car. It will be seen when you're at the groceries. What are you filling your minds with? So keep living awake. Keep living strong. Keep living intentional. The world needs to see you and others and myself fully alive. So live awake.